evening. This is Brandy Shampoo with Exploring Expression, and I'm here today with another Sunday at 7. It is Sunday night, 7 o'clock, and I hope this Brandy. Again, if it didn't work the first time, there was a little bit of a lag there with Facebook. My name is Brandy Shampoo, and this is Sunday at 7. And welcome, 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 welcome. We here at Exploring Expressions, we help parents and educators become the very best expression of yourself so that you can in turn make learning fun, easy, and natural, not just for your children, but for yourselves as well. So, how was your week? How was your week? Was it exciting? How did you move toward your very best expression? Because that's what we're all about here at Exploring Expression. So if you missed last week, I encourage you to go back and catch the replay, and I'll share it again here on my page here in a bit. Last week, we talked all about evaluation. It was focused on looking back so that we can move forward. And part of this 3-part series that I'm doing in celebration of my guided journal, which will be out on August 1st. Not only will I have the guided journal, but I will have a course as well, Becoming Your Better Expression, on my website. Hi, Livette, how are you? So today, to follow up on that, so we covered evaluation, and in that we talked all about why our past is important to our future and how we can use the lessons that we learned in our past to propel us into the future that we're meant to have. Today, we're taking that a step further, and today's topic is called evolution. Evolution. Now, a lot of times, especially in the education and the school circuit, when we think about evolution, we think about in terms of curriculum, right? Evolution versus intelligent design. But that's not what I mean here. That's not what we're talking about at all. Today, we're going to be talking about evolution of your spirit. Evolution of your spirit. Who here thinks that they could use an evolution of your spirit? What does that mean? What does that mean? Does that mean that the old stuff has to go to evolve? No, it means that we keep what works and we change, we grow, we blossom into something more, into more of what we already are, right? And I'm going to talk today about, I'm a little dry. I'm going to talk today about 3 ways in which we can evolve. 3 ways in which we can evolve on a soul, on a spiritual level. Are you ready? If you're ready, put number 1 in the comments. Take a little drink. My throat is dry. Evolution of the spirit. So the first way we evolve is by evolving our perspective and becoming glass half full people. Are you a glass half full person? If that's you, put an emoji down. Are you a glass half full or a glass half empty? Which one are you? Glass half full or glass half empty? And how can we become glass half full people? How can we look at our situation and see the silver lining? See, well, that wasn't so bad. As we go into a situation, right, how can we begin to look at the possibilities instead of the problems? We want to be people that look at possibilities instead of problems. Because every roadblock and every stumbling block and every wall in our way gives us the chance to do something great, to do something mighty and magnificent. That's how we look at a possibility. Because I'm here to tell you there will be stumbling blocks in our way, right? But there are always, where there's a will, there's a way. Have you heard that? There's always a way through it, a way over it, a way around it, a way beyond it. And all of these lead us and sharpen us and hone us to our diamond. Remember, I've said before that diamonds become that way through pressure. Right? Pressure can either break us or it can turn us. It can evolve us, right? Evolve us into our truest and best expression of ourselves. And we do that through an evolution of our perspective. by seeing, by practicing. Because, any skill requires practice. Any learned ability requires practice. When was the last time you practiced seeing the silver lining? Sometimes that's hard, right? So, for the next week, why don't you try to do that? Why don't you intentionally practice seeing the silver lining in things, looking at your life and looking at the world as a glass half full, just waiting, just full of possibilities, waiting to be explored, waiting to be experienced, right? So that was number one. How do we have an evolution of the spirit? The first thing is to practice seeing the glass half full, to have an evolution of our perspective. Number two, ways to have this evolution, to evolve our relationships. What does that mean, to evolve your relationships? Well, one of my most used comments is, learn to love people where they're at, not where you'd like them to be. So I'm here to tell you, some people are easy to love. They are. Some people are easy to love. They're nice, they're generous, they're kind, they're wonderful, they're cute, they're whatever they are. And some people aren't. And we still love them. We still love them. Learn to love people where they're at. Right? There's an organization, it's called NAMI, the National Association for Mental Illness. And one of the precepts that it preaches is that we have to learn to see the person, not the illness. Right? And a mental illness is it is a item that's really close to our heart here at Exploring Expressions, because I have a whole bunch of family members, and I'm very open about this, who suffer from mental illness. And I say all the time, I say, mentally ill people sometimes are going to behave in mentally ill ways, right? But we love them because we love people where they're at, not where we want them to be. And that's another thing that requires practice. Here in the South, there's a term that says, bless your heart, right? Have you heard that? Just bless his heart. And it's not always a term of endearment. But what if we made it a term of endearment? What if next time you said, bless his heart, you meant that? What if you really meant, you're hard to love right now, but I'm going to love you through it. I'm going to love you anyway. Bless your heart. Right? So the second way to work on an evolution of our spirit is to evolve our relationships. What relationship are you going through right now? And I'm not just talking romantic. There's any numbers of types of relationships. In fact, in a book we have coming out this, I believe it's this fall or winter, Hearing is Not Enough, we talk about communication through the lens of relationships. Because everywhere you look, everyone you encounter is a relationship. Whether it's the cashier at the store, or your significant other, or your children, or work relationships, or school relationships, or acquaintance relationships, or friendship relationships. When was the last time you looked at the relationships that you have and looked at the people in your life and you loved them for who they were? For who they were, not who you wanted them to be, not who you wished them to be, not who they're working to be, but for who they were. Love people where they're at. Because that's how we help them get where they want to go. And that's how we get where we want to go. And in that light, while you're loving people where they're at, love yourself where you're at. Right? Maybe that's the hardest one at all. Love yourself where you're at. Not where you hope to be, not where you should be, not where you want to be, but where you are. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, you're here, and that's okay, and I love you, and we're going to climb that next mountain together. That's number two for how to evolve on a spiritual level. Evolution of the spirit is what is the whole second third. So 90 days to a better expression is split into thirds. The first 30 days is evaluation, right? It's looking at our past through a different lens and allowing it to help us move forward. The second month, month two, is all about evolution of the spirit. How to learn to be more and to be the person we want to be. How to learn to lean into our best expression. Lean into your best expression because it's already there. It's already there and you've already won. It's waiting for you to grasp it. All you have to do is lean into it. And we do that through learning to see our glass half full and learning to love people and love ourselves where they and we are at, not where they and we want to be or should be. And number three, ready for number three? Number three, evolution of the spirit involves learning to live the journey. Learning to live the journey. This is a journey. Your life, the things that you do every day is a journey towards your greatness. It's a journey towards your best expression, towards your purpose and your passion and the future that's waiting for you. But the journey is as important. No, more important actually. The journey is more important than the destination. Because if you don't live the journey, you're not going to appreciate it when you get there. You know, there's nothing like having a roof over my head. There's nothing like it. Knowing that if it rains, I can stay dry. And personally, this for me personally, I appreciate it more because I've been homeless. And I've had those times where you're tired, but there's nowhere to lay down. And it's given me an appreciation and a understanding of what that means. So the things that we walk through, the fires that we walk through, not only do they hone us and turn us into diamonds, but if you've never been burned, you don't really know how wonderful the coolness on the other side is, right? Live the journey. The journey is there for you. The journey of learning and growing and understanding and loving and joy and sadness and heartache and all the stuff that makes up our lives and our world. Because we're here to tell you the world is interesting. It's an interesting place. It's a great place to be. Even right now, and you know, I'm not going to lie, these are kind of dark times with virus and unrest and all of these things. But we're here. But we're here and we're living it. And we're growing through it. And we're growing together. You know, this isolation, you know, where we stay in our house. Think of how much time you have now over the last several months to grow closer to those that you're nearest with. Because, you know, if you're sitting there looking at the other person 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you're going to grow in some way. You're going to grow in some way. It might as well be closer, right? We're all growing. Our relationships are always growing. They might as well be closer. And so number 3, live the journey. Live the journey because it's a great one. Allow yourself to grow and allow yourself to experience and allow yourself to breathe through it. And be okay with where you are because you are on a journey. See? Once you understand that we're on a journey, wherever you're at is okay. It's okay because you're still moving. You're moving towards your best and better and beautiful expression. And we can't wait to see it. We can't wait to see it. So, 3 things. Evolve your perspective, evolve your relationships, and evolve your movement. Live the journey. What do they say? There's an old movie, Cool Runnings, right? Cool Runnings. And in that, they asked what the name of their craft was, what the name of their sled was. And he said, peace be the journey. And that's what we want to, because the journey is beautiful. So, hopefully, the next week, think about, over the next week, look at your situation and look at the people in it and look at your life and view it as a beautiful, wonderful journey full of possibilities and people we love. People we love. And next week on Sunday at 7, so make sure to set your notifications. Next week at Sunday 7, we're going to be covering the third 30 days, in which we're going to be talking about exploration. How to move into the future that you're supposed to live. How do we get there? So, I hope you have a wonderful week. I'm excited for the week ahead. I am teaching on Wednesday a workshop on types of government, talking about all the different types of government for a homeschool group called Blue Star Virtual Learning. So if you're a part of that group, or if you're not, look it up, because it's really going to be something cool. I'm excited about that. And we're coming up on August 1st. We're coming up on August 1st, the grand launch of 90 Days to a Better Expression, the book and the course. So there are great things coming up, and I hope you have a beautiful week. And reach out to me. We here at Exploring Expression are always here and can't wait to connect with you. Until next time, we'll see you later.